what I can see, folks, is that there seems to be, obviously, the perspectives, it's a question of words. One talks about self-determination, and the other side talks about secession. One talks about wanton disregard of the Constitution, and the other talks about thinking out of the box. One talks about government inconsistency, and the other talks about betrayal and treachery. That's where the lines are drawn at this point. So let us clear up that first session, that first issue. When you talk about Dr. Mastura, you were talking from the point of view of the MILF, and you were talking as if the Moros are not Filipinos. How does that reconcile with peace and a Bangsamoro juridical entity within the Philippines? No, I don't think so. Here, you have a mic. You have the.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Use mine.
There is.
Okay, now you have it.
What we do have now is wrong assumptions. I'll point, for example, Mr. President, hindi po pumunta si Hasim Salamat sa Malaysia. One fact. Hindi po ninyo checked. So my conclusion is that cabinet men like you do not check your facts. Why? Because you have no Moros. You have no Muslims in your rank. And so you have nobody to check on the ground. Why did I raise that? Because there are so many assumptions, Dr. Monsud, like the assumption of a unitary system is one flag. Mr. President, how can I salute? I do not identify my Sultan Kudarat, great-great-grandfather in that flag. Where is it? Aguinaldo, hero ng bayan, fighting Spain, fighting Americans. But none of my emotions can be tied to that flag. So, assumption is that we are united. The assumption is that the Republic, please, this is not about cheering. This is about thinking, about convincing, about persuading. The nation, the Republic, if you will recall, was formed in the Malulus Congress. None of the Moros were represented physically. But this is not a matter of history, Dr. Monsud. It says the association of people would be a republic. And you will remember, Dr. Mercado, we were a sultanate at that point in time. So how can the two structures be one, Mr. President? I hope and I wish that we had chance, in fact, before you, I was in Tagaytay, when you ordered, with Bishop Quevedo, when you ordered that all-out war. But anyway, oh, no, what I mean is I was. Nandun po. Now, assumptions are important to a nation because it's a winning of minds and heart. Symbols are part of that assumption. So you have to prove that this republic is for the Moros, that the Moros belong to this. Citizenship is a justificatory concept. I am a political scientist. You can argue, I can argue. These are justificatory contests. I don't have to be born. In fact, Filipino is a bad word. Philip. Who was Philip? Philip of Spain. Were there Filipinos in Rizal's time? There were none. There were Creoles. The Creoles became Filipinos. To this day, you want the Moros, you want the Maguindanao to be part of that basically, essentially a Creole. That is the Filipino. There was no such thing as Filipino. In fact, the word coined is Filipino, Philippines. So a Moro like me, a Muslim like me, or a Chinese among you is forced to put a hyphen, Chinese, Filipino. Pero mabuti pa po si Lucio Tan. He has a control of the economy. He shares in Malacanang. One telephone to President Arroz. Pero Moro, no connection, no access. So many of the assumptions that you have in the national capital region is wrong. Give us an area, and then we will have, well, I don't care what you call it, a republic where there is a state, sub-state relationship. That is what we want. Whether it is federal or not, that is not the point. The point is there is, if we concede, there is a state, there is a sub-state, because we preceded you. Long before the Republic, we were already signing treaties. We were already doing business with China and with the rest. You cannot deny this. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody in the panel want to react to that?
Well, I just, according to Dr. Mastura, you said that we don't respect our flag, right?
I didn't say I don't respect. How can I identify with that flag?
Why did you submit yourself by being elected as congressman? Why did you submit yourself when you ran for congressman?
You know why? Because I wanted to pass a legislation to reform, but I have decided that reform is impossible. And the only way is to lawyer for the MILF so that this nation will wake up to the problem.
So you believe in our constitution, that's why you ran
I am
as
a
a congressman.
constitutionalist.
Oh, yes.
So what is wrong with that?
Oh. So
What is wrong with it?
So you must follow our constitution.
Yes, what is wrong with it?
Democracy is ruled by the majority.
Oh no,
Right?
Mr. President, I disagree.
Okay.
There is a right of minorities, and if you cannot, when in the course of human event, you know, that statement says, kung hindi na po tayo magka-pagsang-ayon, meron po kaming katwiran umalis.
Okay. Excuse me. Bakit ba gusto niyo humiwalay? Eh, lahat naman. Mga igorot, mga lumas, tausog, Maguindanao, we're all, I consider, it's presumed that we are all Filipinos. Di mo kamukha sa Estados Unidos, sa Amerika, may mga Indians, may mga black. So, wala namang Berlin Wall. Bakit nalagyan ng Berlin Wall between Christian and Muslims? We're all Filipinos. Ha? And daw sa Amerika, dati-dati may mga racial discrimination, everything. But now, na-absorb na sa mainstream ang mga blacks, sa mga Indians. They will even have no first black president. Who knows that someday there will be a Muslim president?
Winnie, it's a very, it's an awkward dialogue because it will become a dialogue between me and
I'm just
President
telling you.
Estrada.
Let me just bring it back and ask directly the question. Dr. Mastura, do you consider yourself Filipino?
Filipino citizen, but by nationality, I question it.
And do the
I can be a Moro national and still belong to a bigger, you know, we are speaking from different language.
No, finally, just one last point. Do you consider, is the long-run objective of the MILF independence or as part of a Filipino territory and state?
Independence if we have no way to be absorbed in a way that our life will not be miserable.